Hey there YouTube, this is Vargas XX78 with another Tales from the Vargas Vault. In this video I wanted to share with you guys my book collection. I'm a geek in the truest sense of the word, so I like to dabble in a whole bunch of stuff. Comic books mostly, comic books are my passion. Then, video games and manga and anime and movies and so on. And also books. I really like reading. That's why I love comic books so much. But books have a very special something. Because if you read a really good book, your mind can literally create this whole world that the book describes. And it's really cool. It definitely beats something like, movies. There are some movies that pale in comparison with the books. I just wanted to share that video with you guys, this video, and I hope you all like it. First off, I would like to share the very first book I ever remember reading. I read this book as a school project. I had to read a book, and my parents got me the smallest book I think they could have found. But it's El Principito, The Little Prince by A. de Saint-Exupéry. I don't know if I pronounce it right, but that's how I think it goes. And it's about this guy that falls into an asteroid or something, and he meets this little prince. So the little prince is curious about him, and he asks him questions. And I remember it being a really good book, and like I said, it's the very first book I ever read, and I liked it. So yeah. And I have gotten some free books at Comic-Con. For example, I got Lost Calling by Evelyn Baum. Also have by James Axler, Deathlands, The Strontium Swamp. Got for free DC Universe Last Sons. This is written by Alan Grant, DC writer, not the guy from Jurassic Park, but it focuses on the three last sons of the DC Universe: Superman, last son of Krypton; John Jones, last son of Mars; and Lobo, the last Sarnian. Really good book. Also got for free at Comic-Con Trial of Time by Jeff Mariotte. Haven't read it, so I don't really know what it's about. Picked up at Comic-Con for free Darth Bane, Path of Destruction. This is a book going all the way back to the Old Republic. Darth Bane in the Star Wars universe is the Sith Lord that initiated the rule of two. One Sith Master, one Sith Apprentice. So yeah. Have a Gift of Happiness. So I'm interested in the whole Buddhist religion, but this is it basically just has the Cliff's Notes of it. Just basic general tips on how you can try to find happiness. But I thought it was an interesting read nonetheless. At Comic-Con at the Bongo booth, I picked up a while ago the Simpsons Library of Wisdom. And this is the Homer book. They have a book for Marge, for Bart, and for Comic Book Guy, and so on. But again, it's not really a book because it has pictures and everything, but it's not really a comic book, so it falls back into the book category. Back when Thor was going to release in theaters, I picked this book up at a swap meet, and it's The Book of Runes by Ralph H. Bloom. It basically has these little porcelain runes. So you can basically ask a question, pull out a rune, and that rune has some sort of meaning that'll help you in life. I've actually read online that this is not the best book for the runes, but, I read it, I actually used it a few times with a friend, and it was cool. Don't base all my, decisions on that book, but still. Like I mentioned before, geek in the truest sense of the word. And, of course, I'm going to own some Star Wars book. I picked up some hardcovers in the swap meets. First hardcover Star Wars book I own is The Truce at Bakura. This is a book that takes place right after Return of the Jedi. Luke is still suffering from the electrocution from the Emperor. The rebels are still all excited about winning. But they still encounter a far-off Imperial base that's being attacked by these new aliens. So they form a truce with the rebels. So, really good book. I really, really like this book a lot. Then picked up another hardcover book, Dark Force Rising, continuing the adventures of Star Wars characters. Another book I really liked is The New Rebellion. This is years into the future, and Luke Skywalker has his Jedi school, and Princess Leia is married to Han Solo. But one of Luke's students turns to the dark side, and he's bringing back the Empire. So I really like this book also. Really, really good book. And the last book I own is from Star Wars Legacy of the Force, Betrayal, even more into the future, since they also showcase Han and Leia's children. So, yeah, love the Star Wars. Of course, no book should be without this. No geek should be without this book, and that's The Lord of the Rings. I really like The Lord of the Rings, and the movies are also pretty freaking awesome. And this is the best version of the books that I've seen. This little thing has this beautiful leather cover, and it contains all three of the books: Fellowship, Two Towers, and Return of the King. Plus, it has all these extras, like they explain the languages of each one of the races in Middle Earth. And it has this really awesome pull-out map of Middle Earth. So, I love all the Lord of the Rings. This is the best version I've seen, and I'm really, really lucky to have found this one. Got into Harry Potter thanks to the movies. Went to see the first one with a friend. Got hooked. My favorite of the series is Prisoner of Azkaban. So now that the movie series ended, I wanted to track down the books, because I don't like reading a book first and then seeing the movie, because the movie will never compare. So after I finished watching the movies, I picked up the books, and I own all of the books, thankfully. Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, Prisoner of Azkaban, Goblet of Fire, Order of the Phoenix, Half-Blood Prince, and the Deathly Hallows. All of them hardcovers, but only Order of the Phoenix and Half-Blood Prince are first edition. All the other ones are much later editions. But just really, really like the Harry Potter books. So, yeah. Have the Simpsons family album. This is just one big book kind of thing that has big, beautiful pictures of the Simpsons throughout the years. It has like Baby Bart, Baby Lisa, Young Marge, Young Homer, and all their trips and everything. If you really think about it, it's a really pointless book, but still, it's a Simpsons book, and I gotta own everything that has to do with the Simpsons. Can't help myself. This is a book I picked up recently. I actually showed it off at a pickup video, and it's Jurassic Park, the book, the book that inspired all parts of all three movies. Really, really good book. I really enjoyed this book a lot. It's a good read. Have this Bart Simpson's Guide to Life. It's like the Homer book, where it just has Bart Simpson explaining things about life and how to get ahead in life according to him. Just another must-have Simpsons thing. Here in Mexico, we have a comedian called Eugenio Derbez, and he had a TV show a while back that had this a whole bunch of characters and everything. And his most popular one was this character called Armando Hoyos, that would spat out funny philosophies or funny words and everything. And he released 2 books. The first book that I bought is his dictionary. Also own Power Up: How Japanese Video Games Gave the World an Extra Life. This is a look back at how video games crashed in the 80s, and Japanese developers like Nintendo brought the whole thing back. Brought video games back with the Nintendo, the Super Nintendo, even the 64. It talks about how Sega came into it and how the PlayStation 1 came about. But it's a really, really good book. It's a really interesting history look at how video games are what they are now, and how they started with this little Japanese company that used to make playing cards. So I really enjoyed this book as well. At Comic-Con, I got for free Nightshade. Got this book for free, and it's about this werewolf pack that's led by this female werewolf. It's a 2-book series, but I haven't found the second one. Maybe this year at Comic-Con, but, you know, it's werewolf. Also, got this at a book fair for free by Patricia D. Cornwell, Strange and Cruel. It's about this forensic analysis called Kay Scarpetta, who helps out this detective try to solve the mystery of the serial killer. And as she's trying to solve the mystery, the serial killer hones in on her. So, really, really good book. It was totally free, but it kept me on the edge of my seat. Really, really good book. Really enjoyed it. Also, recently picked up and finished reading Half Moon Investigations. Owen Colfer is the writer of the Artemis Fowl series, but I haven't been able to track down any of those books. But I read this one. It's about this kid detective that goes around solving, you know, small things, but he gets, you know, he tries to solve one case, and it escalates into something really big, and he gets framed for something really bad. But yeah, I really like this book a lot. I still want to track down the Artemis Fowls book. A cousin of mine gave me this book. It's the Vinci Code by Dan Brown. I remember when this book came out, a lot of people got into this, like, oh, it's this big conspiracy and everything. And I don't doubt that he grabbed elements that were true and then made a really interesting book, but the hype just got insane, and you know, it's a good book, but it's not that good. Still trying to read through the Ardennes Palace. Also picked this one up recently. It's about this alternate world where medieval kings drug dragons so they can be slaves and everything. But of course, someone wants to dethrone the king, and they use their dragons to get their goals. But so far, it's a good read. Now I'm subscribed to this webcomic by Paul Horn called Cool Jerk, and at Comic-Con he sells his collected books. These books collect the comic book strips and the webcomics that he's done. And every year I make it a point to stop by and say hi and pick up his stuff. And he autographs each book and does a quick sketch. So this is Cool Jerk Volume 1. Cool Jerk Volume 2. Doc Splatter Omnius Omnibus. And Cool Jerk Volume 3. And they're really good books. I really enjoy them. Also have Armando Hoyos. This is just like his funny philosophies. Have the Simpsons Are We There Yet book, a guide to Springfield, like a quick tourist guidebook for Springfield. And The Simpsons, a complete guide to our favorite family. This is an episode rundown of all the episodes from season 1 to 11. But yeah, it has like these tidbits about things you might have missed and everything. But it's Simpsons, so you know I gotta own it. So yeah, that was the book collection video. Like I said, it's not the biggest book collection. I'm still trying to work on it, but like I said, I only pick up things that seem interesting or that I get for free at Comic-Con or stuff. So, you know, there's a whole bunch of books I'm missing, key books I know I have to read. But I hope you like this video. If you can leave a comment or some sort of recommendation, I would really appreciate it. But until I make another video, or I see you all again, this is Vargas XX78, signing off.